Well, this is VOP News Update. I'm Moses Humphrey. The Nigeria Labour Congress is set to engage President Tinubu on the agitation for extension of civil servants' retirement age to 65 years. The National President, NLC, Joe Ajero, said that Labour was not relenting on the agitation, which started under the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. It was reported that the NLC had, during the 2023 May Day celebrations, appealed to Buhari to extend the retirement age for civil servants. But then Minister of State for Labour, Festus Keyamo, told reporters that Buhari, in the twilight of his administration, would not be able to deal with the matter. Already, teachers under the employment of government at all levels are enjoying the implementation of a new retirement age. President Tinubu has returned to Abuja yesterday after being away for nearly 2 weeks. The president had on June 20 departed Abuja for Paris, France, where he attended the summit for a new global financing pact hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. From Paris, he moved to London for a private visit and returned to Lagos on June 27 ahead of the Eid el-Kabir celebrations. During his stay in Lagos, he was hosted by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and also visited two prominent monarchs in Ogun State, the paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Adetona in Ijebu-Ode, and Alake of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Gbadebo in Abeokuta. Tinubu also visited the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Akiolu, on Saturday. The president received his Guinea-Bissau counterpart, Umaru Mbalo, who paid him a courtesy visit. Speaking of the private meeting between both leaders, Tinubu's special advisor on special duties, communications and strategy, Dele Alake, said the president was ready to lead the charge on the local and foreign scenes as the rest of Africa looks up to Nigeria. Well, gunmen stormed a Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG parish in Abuliori, Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State, killing the pastor and abducting 7 members of the church. The commander of Ogun State So Safe Corps, Soji Gonzalo, confirmed the incident to journalists in Abeokuta yesterday. Mr. Gonzalo explained that officials of the Corps, however, rescued the 7 church members and killed one of the kidnappers during a rescue operation, according to a statement made available to journalists by the So Safe Director of Information and Public Relations, Maruf Yusuf. Mr. Gonzalo was reported as saying that the incident occurred at about 12 midnight on Saturday. He said a joint team of the police and the So Safe Corps were already after the fleeing kidnappers to capture them alive. The commander said that the body of the dead kidnapper had been deposited in a nearby morgue. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Osun Command, says no fewer than 2 persons lost their lives in an accident that occurred on Ife-Ondo Road due to speeding and brake failure. The sector commander, Henry Benemesia, confirmed this in a statement made available by the command's spokesperson, Agnes Ogungbemi, yesterday in Osogbo. Benemesia said the accident occurred in the Ifetedo area of Osun State when a vehicle suddenly lost control due to excessive speed. He also said that the 2 persons lost their lives when the accident happened and their remains were taken away by their relatives present at the scene of the accident. According to him, motorists should desist from excessive speeding that could lead to loss of lives and properties. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has faulted the decision of the federal government on the dissolution of governing councils of all federal universities in the country. The union said that the move was detrimental and a major setback towards the growth and development of university education in Nigeria. The chairman of the University of Jos chapter of the union, Chris Yilgwan, stated this in an interview with newsmen in Jos. Reports say that the National University Commission (NUC) had on June 22 announced the dissolution of governing councils of all federal universities and boards of other agencies and parastatals in the country. The NUC directive was based on a similar one 3 days earlier by President Tinubu, who ordered the dissolution of the boards of all government parastatals, agencies, and companies. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Abdullahi Adamu, has asked the leadership of the National Assembly to make policies that will help the President Bola Tinubu, achieve his campaign promises. Mr. Adamu gave the advice on Saturday when the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, led members of the Senate to his Kefi residence in Nasarawa State. The APC national chairman said the only way to support the administration of Mr. Tinubu is to ensure that members of the two legislative chambers are united. Mr. Adamu congratulated the Senate President and his deputy, Barau Jibrin, for their emergence as leaders of the upper legislative chamber. In his remarks, Mr. Akpabio extended appreciation to the leadership of the APC for their support. Taraba State Governor Dr. Agbu Kefas has declared a 24-hour curfew on Karim Town and its environs in the Karim Lamido local government area of the state yesterday. The curfew followed renewed communal clashes between the Wukans and the Karim Jos in the local government area, allegedly resulting in the killing of at least 50 people, while many houses were burnt on Saturday. The spokesman for the Taraba State Police Command, Usman Abdullahi, said the crisis started at about 3 a.m. on Saturday, adding that the exact casualty figure had yet to be ascertained. Imposing a curfew on the local government area yesterday, the governor directed security agencies to ensure strict compliance. In business, large consignments of fuel being imported by major oil marketers are to hit Nigeria from next week and may force down the price of the commodity. This statement made yesterday is according to both major and independent dealers. It was also gathered that crude oil refiners were currently releasing refined petroleum products on credit to dealers from Nigeria, following the recent unification of the country's exchange rate, which boosted the confidence of operators. Now, this is coming as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, says that they will compete with the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, on the importation of petrol, stressing that this would crash the cost of PMS. Before the President, Bola Tinubu, removed subsidy on petrol, the product was solely imported by NNPCL, as other marketers stopped its importation due to their inability to access the United States dollar. But with the recent unification of the exchange rate, oil marketers had to join in the importation of petrol and confirm that the products should be arriving in Nigeria from next week. In foreign news, the Israeli military has sent a large-scale raid into a stronghold of armed groups in the occupied West Bank early this morning. The local health official said at least 3 Palestinians were killed. Israeli forces raided what the military described as a unified command center in the Jenin refugee camp, describing it as an advanced observation and reconnaissance center where militants would gather to coordinate and prepare for attacks. It was gathered that the military also conducted airstrikes, reviving a tactic it had largely halted during the past 2 decades after a Palestinian uprising against Israel's open-ended occupation slowly fizzled. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 3 Palestinians were killed and 13 injured. 3 of them are in critical condition. Palestinian attacks since the start of this year have killed 24 people. The outburst of violence was sparked last year after a spate of Palestinian attacks which prompted Israel to step up its raids in the West Bank. And that's the news update on VOP TV, that is Voice of the People TV. We'd like you to subscribe and engage with us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, it is at VOP TV Live. And that's the news update. I'm Moses Humphrey.